Lee. Okay. We're almost at 7,000. Let's get this thing up to 7,000. We're going to be talking about all-star stocks. Before we do that, speaking of all-star, I do want to say one thing. We was at all-star weekend. Shout out to the G League, NBA.
Yeah.
So, I've had an epiphany. And, we go to these parties all the time, stuff like that. And there's one person from our culture who has this thing figured out. So I'm going to let the people guess.
No, figured out.
And it obviously, like, of course, like Robert Smith, Tyler Perry, they have it figured out. But I'm saying, like, not a billionaire. He's not a billionaire yet. But there's one person from our culture that has it figured out. Who put in chat who you think?
I'm thinking the same person. Yeah, absolutely.
So I see Kevin Hart. Shout out to Kevin. He's an intelligent dude for sure. 50 Cent, Shaquille O'Neal.
The crazy, we were in the Uber leaving an event, and we were kind of having this conversation. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Like, I don't think I've seen people feel so comfortable to give information to one person. It's very unique, man, from all walks of life, and not just here, but internationally as well. Very unique person.
So the person that I'm referring to is Maverick Carter.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be a billionaire,
yeah.
And you know why I say he has it figured out? Because we've been around him a few different times. We've established a relationship with him. He's a friend of ours, and he's invited us to different things. Everybody else invites us to parties. He invites us to dinners, and his dinners have like 30 people. Maybe one NBA player. Everybody else, you've never heard of any of these people. You know what, man? Like, you talk about relationships. This guy really figured it out. He figured it out as far as, like, his network is crazy. He's not in the mix. He's not going to parties. He's curating the right environment.
Yep.
And I don't think I ever saw him do an interview before. Like, he interviews people on the shop. Yeah. I don't know if I ever actually saw Maverick Carter being interviewed. He came to InvestFest. Mm-hmm. That's legendary. But I don't know if I ever saw him actually sit down for a full-length interview before.
Which is genius.
He's off the radar. Yo, I met the guy that created the App Store.
Let that sit with you.
Telling you, Maverick. Remember, you heard it here first. He's going to become a billionaire on the low.
Here's what also makes him special. Sitting having a conversation, he brings people over, right? Like, he's calling people over so that they know you and you know them.
And he does intro.
We met one of the founders of Google. Just casually having a conversation. Hey, these are what these guys do. You should meet them. Hey, Mav, is there any way you can connect us after this? Before the night's over, there's a text thread with us in it.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, he's not just hoarding his network, he's sharing his network, which makes him like really unique, like one of a kind, special people, man. Just a different dude. And that goes, like I said, not just domestically. When he goes to the UK, it's the same thing. We were sitting there, they were like, yo, the crazy thing about Mav is, like, the networking that he's doing right now, we could go to Paris tonight and he would do the same thing with a different 30 people. And it would be just as impactful.
For the audience listening, though, what other two gems that you gather from him that they need to apply to their lives or their business that you ascertained from Maverick over the weekend?
Well, like I said, the power of relationships and cultivating the relation, because we've seen him in a few different environments, and he knows a lot of people, and these are people that nobody else knows.
Mm-hmm.
That's important, because it's like, okay, the obvious criticism is going to be, well, he's LeBron's best friend. Well, we've been around Maverick a bunch of times. Only once was LeBron there, meaning he's not riding LeBron's coattails, or he's not even playing a celebrity game of just hanging around basketball players and wanting to be a celebrity. Yeah, of course, that's an advantage to have LeBron James as your best friend and business partner, of course. But you still gotta take that flame and turn it into, just go crazy, pour gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
He's done a very good job of that. And, he's one of these people that he's a 50-50 dude where he brings his, or like he'll partner with somebody. Like I met the dude that he had, it's a whole thing. But what he does is he throws events in people's houses and it's like 30 people. And these people are not from our culture. So he'll say, okay, like you bring your crowd and I'll bring my crowd.
Yep.
Right. And
a merger.
It's a merger. He's done this several different times. And it's like we saw Tashonda Duckett, Brown Duckett. If you don't know who Tashonda is, she's one of the only Black women that have ever been the CEO of a Fortune 100 company. She's the CEO of TIAA Craft, one of the largest asset managers in the world. And she's a friend of ours also. She was there. But man, this guy's brilliant how he's able to, and that's why it's all you got. It really comes down to who you know. You know, like it really comes down to who you know.
And yeah, I see you guys do this all the time, but can you emphasize the importance of him trying to make the connection opposed to taking something away? Because he seems like a help first kind of person opposed to you give me 50 grand and no, he's connecting the dots and following through, right?
Yeah, I think he's one of the few guys when we talk about he wants to see us all win. Like I firmly believe he wants us to all win. Yeah. Like he's from where we from. Like when, you know what I mean? When I say that, like in the community, like he's from where we from and he wants to see us all win. One of the best things he's ever told me was like, look, I used to sit at Nike in the early days and try to figure out how am I going to become a millionaire? And I sat there and I studied and I've been around people. And once I figured out how to make $1 million, he was like, the money was the easy thing. The relationships, the networking, and the ideas is what I'm here for. He was like, it's All-Star Weekend. There's a plenty of parties going on. I don't care about anything about like I'm just here for the people who are in town so I can connect people, put them together in the room. What ideas, what can come from this room? That's it. Yeah. And when with this event is over, I'm out of here. I'm going. Y'all can keep everything else. Everything else is distraction. Entertainment is a distraction. I'm here for business and I'm gonna go do business tomorrow. And I'll be back in New York and we can sit down and discuss about business again.
I know y'all came here for stocks, but that is a lesson. If you master it, will allow you to make tens of millions of dollars easily in your life and never have to worry about wealth ever again in your family. Even if you think about what generational wealth is, it is the power of connecting all these people together across the globe to make sure that the business keeps running. Like, please do not let that lesson go off your head because they could have gatekept that information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Room full of billionaires. And you wouldn't even know.
So the relationships that I say that to say, the relationships that you make in life is going to be the most important aspect of your success. Can you be successful without making good relationships? Yeah. Anything is possible. It's harder. It's harder to just stay in your basement and just, make $1 million that way. So, man, the relationships is the key. And like I said, to me, he's the person that I've seen personally that's figured this thing out the best out of people from like our culture. And I'm pretty confident that he'll become a billionaire. And when he does become a billionaire, nobody will probably even know about it because he's never around. You're not going to see him.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him unless it's he sits courtside the Lakers game. But other than that, like he doesn't seek attention. He does not seek attention. He's not flashy. But man, this guy's heavily connected for sure. So shout out to the whole team, Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, but man, Maverick.
Rich another one too.
Yeah.